Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is Grumpy Jeff back here, and we are doing a couple answers to a couple questions from some of our viewers, both emails and comments I've seen. First one was doing a little champion guide on Norog. Norog's a legendary. I don't really tend to want to do full-on guides about legendaries, only because they're so rare that you get them. But I would be more than happy to answer small guides like this, kind of like in videos where I just answer questions in general. Like how to build out Norog, because I know one of the viewers has them. Just defense champ. Just defense him up. As you can see right here, I mean, I did use some top tier gear for him. I did use some defense affinities. I used Relentless. The only reason I used Relentless gear on him is because the gear I was using had the defense percentages I wanted and other defensive factors to make sure that he got high. His crit rate's not up there. I'm not trying to use him as a smasher or anything like that. I did fill out his masteries, the block skills, the ice pillar. His passive is what really you want to use him for right here. The immune to stun, freeze, sleep, that's great. I mean, that's an amazing passive, but it's really the second one. The decrease the damage taken by all allies that are under one or more debuffs by 15%. So if you have a buffer in there, it's going to decrease the damage taken by 15%. If you don't have a buffer and you want to go for mainly just like a debuffer team in dungeons, you have decreases the damage taken by all allies that are under no active buffs by 25%. So a quarter of the damage taken in the dungeon by any AoE stuff, or it looks like just damage in general, excuse me, by 25%. That's huge. I mean, that's just a huge thing. So we'll go ahead and run a couple missions with him in there, and we'll just kind of show you how he does. Masteries wise, didn't give him any. Just build him out in the defense tree. If you want to use him in, let's go ahead and take a look at him. If you want to use him in Clan Boss, go ahead and get down to War Master if you're going to fill him all the way out so you can get that extra damage. Otherwise, just, you know, fill him up with debuff. You can go the accuracy route if you really want to hit his skills. You know, if you want to lock down a single target, like in the arena, or if you're really keen on blocking buffs on arena teams, then yeah, go the accuracy route, definitely. As for me, like I said, I'm not really going to overly kid him on that kind of stuff. He's just not worth it for that. I really want him for his main talent, which is the passive skill, and then his aura, plus 40% in dungeons. That's huge. Huge aura in the dungeons. So let's go ahead and jump over to Dragons and we'll run them there. Alright, so here we are in a Dragons. I purposefully didn't put in Norog just because I wanted to show you the kind of damage we're going to get when they attack without him. We do have a defense lead. It's 33%, which is a little bit lower, obviously, than the 40% that Norog offers, but I figure it's going to give you a pretty good idea as to how hard everyone hits and all that. So we'll go ahead and just run a couple of moves here just so you can see that first hit. We don't really care how these people hit whatsoever. We're just trying to get it out of the way. Alright, there we go. So boom, 3,000, 5,000, 10,000, 10,000. Pretty decent hits all around. So you got your 3s, 5s, your what have you. Here we go. 44,000 crit. I mean, pretty decent damage. 11, 8. Let's go ahead and I will stop this one. I'm going to jump out. The only switch I will is I'll put Norog in the lead, and you'll see the difference in the hits. Alright, so here we are with Norog now in the lead. Same damage. You will see cadence damage go up, obviously, a little bit with another 7% with his hits. Hey, more defense. He's a defense champ, so that really helps out. So you can build him if you have a lot of defense hitters. Awesome lead then. There aren't too many defensive hitters out there, especially on the lower level guys that you really want to build up. Caden is definitely one of them. Here we go, hit. So 2,000, you got some crits in there, so it kind of, you had a little bit lower, but yeah, the crits definitely took away from that defense. Here, 8,000, decided not to go for him because the stun wasn't there. So you get a little bit of improvement, maybe about 25%. Like it said, the crits obviously go against that, and they don't show the whole thing. So we'll go ahead and run all the way to the boss here. Go ahead and pause. All right, here we are at the Dragon. The team doesn't really have a healer. We do have the Reviver. I'm not like going for much damage or anything more than just damage. I don't really care about these guys back. I do have the ability to bring them back to life. But the Dragon's hits are going to be so much weaker. you don't really need that healer. I mean, obviously, you're going to lose Frozen Banshee, probably going to lose maybe Royal Guard here once or twice. Well, that helps. Let's go ahead and auto run it here. But as you can see, it's just not hitting as hard. Obviously, the poison damage doesn't change. He doesn't absorb any of that damage as hard. I think it works differently. But the Dragon Strikes at level 20, it's not... they're not as devastating. And so he's just a huge champ for that. The best part is it's a passive. So you don't have to put him in the lead. If you don't have any defense champions and you have enough defense gear on your champions, then just don't put him in the lead. Put him as a secondary character. Absorb a ton of that hit and you can survive a heck of a lot longer than you usually do. So I'm going to run one more just for a little fun thing to show you at the very end here, and I'll be right back. Here we are with double Norog. Because in my experience, his passive stacks. It's kind of ridiculous, but whatever. So we are going to get almost no hits laid down by this guy. He's going to do 2,300 on a 50. He's going to be the target because he's a level 50, so it's just not that big of a deal. But I mean, they're going to hit with like nothing. Just nothing. 2,000s, whatever. Who cares? You know, I'm not going to live very long. I mean, I'm not going to do much damage with either one of these Norogs. They are not built out for it. This guy is just slapped together. I got him up to level 50 this morning just by kind of using him on an auto clicker. So we'll jump over to the dragon. I'll show you how the dragon hits on this team. Alright, here we are at the dragon. I got to bring my other Norog back to life here real quick. So I'm just going to handle this, make sure we get all the right moves out of there. So we can get him up before the dragon hits again. There we go. Put the cooldown on there. Poisons, so that'll probably help me out again. Don't have my poison sensitivity, got rid of the Banshee. I'm just getting Norog's hit pretty well too. I mean, they're not like weak by any means. They're not great with hits. Alright, so we should get ready for the dragon hit here, so it's down to 1. Boom! Look at that, 4,000 hit. Now he goes down, he's a level 50. He's just a weak character. But those hits were like nothing. 4,000? Up a level 20 dragon? I'd have a weaker team so I don't have a healer. But that's ridiculous. Dragons shouldn't hit like that. Dragons should be hitting, you know, at least by 20. 20k, maybe 10k. But still, you stacking that, and then if you were to put them in stalwart gear, which is another 30%, I believe it stacks there. I don't have a full kit, so unfortunately I couldn't test that. I found nowhere where it says it doesn't stack, but if you had stalwart gear, that for this crew right here with no buffs on them, you're talking about 80% damage deflection on an AoE. 80% damage deflection. Or not deflection, it doesn't put it back on the dragon, but that's huge. So I mean, he's an awesome character. Stack him with stalwart gear on the team that he's with if you have it. And then it's your option whether or not you want to run buffs. You can just focus entirely on poisoning and debuffing, and you're going to have a great rate against the dragon. It's going to do well against clan boss. And then it can obviously turn defensive champions into the heaviest of hitters. Anyways, that's what I wanted to do with Norog. I'm going to move on to the next viewer question I have for you, which involves a stat sheet of, actually a champion list here I'm going to show you. Alright, so what you have in front of you is the stat sheet, or not the stat sheet, the champions that was sent to me by a viewer. There is another sheet that has some more rares on there that I kind of like, and some uncommons I like as well. But basically what was happening is we were getting stuck on spider level 40, and they need a little advice. And the best advice I can give you right now when it comes to building out your spiders team, Kreela is not the best because she attacks randomly with her auto team attack. So many times she'll target a little spider and just waste everything. So unless you have a whole bevy of AoE attackers, she's not really going to be that helpful. Also, once you get to level 14 spider, you really need to start turning away from trying to kill the spiderlings, which means you need to build heavy hitters. You can build wave teams to kill the waves, but it's just going to become so much harder. What you really want to start doing is you have stun kits, put them on your AoE guys, or if you have, if you can find a burner, that would be great. But you really need a heavy hitter. Now you have Aethel right here. And you have, let's see here, you have your War Maiden, excuse me. So you have your decrease down and your weaken. If you can manage to land both those on the spider, You can use like Aquila, from what I'm understanding, is a heavy hitter. Alika, not Aquila. She's a heavy hitter. You can build her out. I built her out to a level 50 on my account just to test it, and she does lay down some damage. What you really want to try and do is get yourself like a. Obviously, you can't just go get one, but a max HP champion. Someone who hits based on max HP, so you can start leveling down that spider, because you need to womp that spider hard once you get to the 14, especially if you're going for something on auto. And remember, on auto, you can click on the spider to make sure that they target the spider preferentially over the spiderlings, so you can get that target down. But you do have a solid account here. Like, this is a really, really solid account. You have some wonderful campaign farmers. You have some great poisoners. You have your poison sensitivity with your frozen banshee. I mean, you have some aces. Eligeus, I'm still kind of on the fence. I'm seeing kind of a 50-50 good-bad result so far on what I've been able to see in the forums. Othar, heck of a poisoner. You pair him with Frozen Banshee, you can get some really solid poisoning done. The only issue I see with your spiders right now is just the fact you need that heavy hitter. Unless you want to sacrifice all your good gear and throw it on top of pretty much all of your AoE champs, your Dark Aethel, even if you want to throw it on top of Kale, if you want to throw it on top of War Maiden, obviously you want her up high anyways with her crit damage. Focus on crit damage for that. You might be able to blow through, round after round after round of spiderlings, but it's going to take a long time. I struggled on 14 as well. In fact, I only played it once because I only had the right affinity to get through it the one time, and it took me 9.5 minutes on manual. I remember that because it was the biggest slugfest I ever had besides the Faction Crypt level 21. So you have a good kit, you have a lot of good champions, you're doing really well on your account. I wish I could build a team that would guarantee you 100% hit every time, 100% success rate against level 14 spider, but you're just missing that super big hitter. So you have enough here to get through it on auto, but you're probably going to get a success rate of about 50 to 60%, which means you're going to be eating up energy. Right now I'd focus on trying to just build up a little bit more heavy hitting teams. Get ready for the Doom Tower because there's going to be great rewards there. But keep trucking. You're doing well. Your account looks great. Anyways, I've been Grumpy Jeff. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm glad I could answer these questions for you. If you have anything else, leave it in the comments. Y'all have yourself a wonderful day.